Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Yin. This is going to be a wonderful class. We're going to stretch deeply, we're going to feel greatly, and we're going to learn mostly as much as we can. Each practice brings something a little slightly different. So again, we just want to take whatever little slightly different, that's the extraordinary within the ordinary of each and every practice. This grace, this ease, this comfort. So we're going to start on the left side today in a pose known as deer pose. So notice I'm off to the side. I'm just stretching my body now off to the side. Just off to the side on my left side, getting a nice gentle stretch. So I'm pushing my body back and forth. If you look, my hip is going back, my hip is going forward. My hip is going back, my hip is going forward. And again, yin is about three things. The first thing is getting comfortable, which is what we're doing in the first movement. We're getting nice and comfortable with each other as student to teacher through the teachings, right? Through the practice as we're participants of it. But then also two, we're getting comfortable in ourselves, right? I can feel a little bit of a click. I can feel a little bit of a twitch. I can feel a little bit of a tremor. I can feel a little bit of a flutter, right? There's so many sensations that can occur, right? So there's the teachings, which is what we're learning, the techniques, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth, right? Encouraging this parasympathetic stimulus. And the parasympathetic is all about resting and digesting, slowing us down. So we want to stimulate our ability to slow down, which almost seems counterintuitive. But if you want to be chill, you got to work hard at being chill. And yin is all about being the chillest, the coolest. And so this is why this practice is personally so important to me, because I run hot, right? I like fast, moving, shiny objects, and it's really important that in yin, right, we're looking more at the spaces between those shiny things, right? The spaces that separate and yet connect as a whole. So now we've had a nice long time on the hip. Now we're gonna come into a twist. As we come into a straight arm twist, we're gonna do the same thing. Little tiny movement left and right. Start to look over that left shoulder. And we're starting today right from the hip, and now we're moving it right to the heart. Now you don't have to look into the twist yet. That might be a little much. Just keep your arms straight out in front of you, just from the knee and the thigh and the hip, and then just forward and back. And if you want to twist, that's a different story, and you want to bring that energy up to the head. But start with just the heart, right? What's the connection between the hip and the heart? And that would be looking down, right? Feel that connection. Again, get comfortable. We're doing this yin movement in a very yang way, right? Lots of micro movements. And then as we get more and more comfortable with it, we want to start to move over by looking through the heart now with the head. So it goes hips, heart, and then you feel the stretch all the way up into the head. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. And that's the power of the yin. Just staying here, feeling here, connecting here. It's a very beautiful pose. And this is a pose you can get infinitely more out of. Deer twist, one of my favorites. It's a great way to work the area from the hip to the rib cage. These tiny little micro movements can't really be found in other postures, right? There's too much gravity, there's too much weight. Hi, Helen. Welcome. We're just in deer twist, so just join us. We just did this is the first posture, so you're right here with us today. Perfect. And we're just doing that tiny little movement in deer. We're all on the left side, and we're just getting that nice twist from the hip through the heart. Head is looking down, right? Or our head is twisting over the shoulder, as we said, but remembering these three parts. Now, these three parts, when we connect with them, that's our comfortable edge. Right? So the comfort we found moving from the hip through the heart to the head, now that becomes our edge because we're doing all three. Or you can see it as The edge is the breath once you're in all three. So again, it's this kind of magical interpretation of wisdom and experience. Right? This is that knowledge I'm sharing right now. It's wisdom and experience. Right? So through the practice, you realize, okay, what is it? Right? Well, this is what it is for me. What that shared experience, right? That is the knowledge and the wisdom and the practice all coming together. And as you breathe from that hip, it's moving up into the heart, and it's going even higher up into the head. And again, what are we doing? We're stimulating that system that inhibits. We're stimulating that which chills. We're increasing its energy. Beautiful. And from here, take one last deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And then slowly untwist. Now, take a lot of time here. You're going to feel it. Roll this way to this way, right? Side to side, right? And when we began, we were kind of doing this lift move. Now I'm saying drop down. It's like pancake on the left side. Just let your hip roll over. Feels really good. Stretch, 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 stretch. Try and stretch in different directions, moving it around, feeling. Again, rolling it through that left side. Good. And just to challenge ourselves, hands off the ground. Circles, forward, back, other direction, circles. Right? Just move around your body. Feel, feel, feel. Again, this is all the tiny little movements that make the big differences. Right? All this micro movement, can't get it without those long holds. Right? It's because things start to break apart and we're creating this flow. If you want to imagine as like a global warming to all your warnings, right? All those things that say, no, don't, hurts, right? That's what we get to warm and melt. Good, fantastic. Now from here, flip over to the other side. So nice and easy, just lean, nice big lean, nice relaxed deer pose. And again, moving it forward and back. You'll feel a big difference. You're like, oh, immediately. It's such a big difference, especially when you move from one side to the other. That's why I like to start with the left side, because a lot of people think, oh, it's just my left side. No, right? It's really, really nice to feel it on that left side first, because then you get to the right side, which is your more dominant side, and you're like, oh, really, it's pain. But that's because there's pain there. And pain is not bad, right? But we want to transform the pain into pleasure because it's absolutely possible, right? It's the same connection. What receives pain, what receives pleasure, it's your spine, right? It's your central nervous system. It's your brain. That's why we go hips, heart, head, right? That's our journey as we find our inner enlightenment, right? Our information, right? Enlightenment, enjoyment. Good. Just keep moving and grooving, feeling it a nice long time to get comfortable. Stage one. And then when you're ready, stage two, start to twist. And when you find that twist, arms stay straight. And again, just moving it forward and back. Again, the first stage, you just look at the ground and you're just connecting hip and heart. And remember, over time, you start to go hip, heart, head. Right? By looking in the opposite way, in the shoulder over the right side. But until then, you just look down, right? You just feel that connection. What does it feel like? Where can't you move this? Right? This is where the yin captivates, right? We feel captive, and then it captivates us by how captive we are. And so breath by breath, we start to liberate that captivity. Right? Breath by breath, we start to move from comfort to comfortable edge. Why? Because now the edge is going to become our new place of comfort. And you feel all sorts of sensations on the way there. Right? It's all about the journey, not the destination, because once you realize, once you've been practicing long enough to realize, which is to liberate, Once you liberate all that entangles, because what entangles enslaves, right? It binds us, it twists us, it bends us. But we never want it to break us. And that's why we bend and twist back. That's why we breathe. That's why we detox before we retox, because we're always taking on new things. But just like a sponge, we can take on whatever we want. All we have to do is take it out. And that's the secret equation. That's what we forget. We take a lot in as humans, but we don't take on as much out as we do in. And that's why it's all about letting go and feeling that flow. Good. And slowly, when you're ready, come back out of that twist. And again, just feel it. It's remarkable, just the change. And just keep it nice and easy. And like I said, side to side, right? Side to side, not just forward and back. Right? Go side to side now. Right? Open up through that hip. Open up through that hip. Again, this is your chance to really roll it around, right? Really relax it. Again, sciatica, right? Really big issue. Lower back pain, really big issue. And it all originates in the yoga consciousness in the root chakra, in the base, right? Because this is the first thing that takes the signal and brings it to our brain, right? The base of the spine. And then each chakra is a different part of the spine that takes in the signal and transmits it to the brain. That's why we have a Kundalini class, right? Where we work with that explicitly. But every class works with it, right? This class is working with it. We're just working with it in 3 ways rather than 7 ways. 3 ways. Hips, heart, head. Still following the same path as the chakras, right? The Kundalini energy is the same in all yoga. But we call it prana. And we breathe into it. We breathe through it. And it breathes through us. Perfect. Bring your hands off the ground. Just feel a little bit with your hands off the ground. Move it around. And doing a nice long yin posture, but with lots of yang to get us started, right? Because movement is medicine and stillness is anything but still. Fantastic. Hands behind you, bring the soles of the feet in front, knees up high, start to drop one knee down at a time, nice and slow. And as you do this, again, same thing, look over opposite shoulder. Stay here, feel, and then twist. Bring the knee all the way to the ground. And feel the length as you twist. Right? Go forward, go back. Look at me. Go forward, go back. Lock in, drop down, lay out, open up. Good, switch. Right? Put the knee to the floor, hold the knee down. Curl, back bend. Curl, forward fold. Back bend. Lift your spine up, lift your spine down. Point your tailbone. Point your tailbone the other way. Good. Remember, it's all about your spine. Switch legs. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Get that nice long stretch. Good. Good. And coming back to center. Beautiful. Now from here, what we're going to do is stretch our legs forward. Okay, stretch our legs forward. Beautiful. And take one leg and cross it over the other leg, just like such. Okay, perfect. From here, I'm coming forward and back. And as I come forward and back, I'm taking this leg and I'm bringing it on a journey. Bringing it on a journey. Bringing it on a journey. So this is like half shoelace, bringing on a journey. Bringing on a journey. Bringing on a journey. Good. Once I get to kind of half shoelace, curl your toes in front and reach. Reach. And once you have the reach, right, start to pull. A little bit different than before, right? We're on a straight leg on the one leg and the other leg is in shoelace. So again, feeling that internal hip rotation, right? It's coming inward, feel it, and then we're reaching forward. Reaching forward, nice and powerful here. Good, feel. Again, getting comfortable, first minute. Getting comfortable. Right, move your full foot around, play around, stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, push it out, push it out. Good. When you're ready, let that leg hold, stay here. Lean on to your left side in the direction of the foot. And then all you do is bring it in and then lay it down. There you go. Tuck it in a little bit more. And now we'll do our hold. Nice and easy, lying down, finding that beautiful shoelace. Right. Again, your arms can stay straight the whole time, or relax your head, and as you relax your head, hands come forward. Move your body around. Again, find new levels, slight little movements. Right, coming down, coming forward. Nice and easy. Right, feel your way to the floor. Remember, feeling the healing, that's the key. Find that comfortable edge. And then you surrender, right? You let go. First you get all comfortable, and then once you're comfortable, you start to go deeper by moving more forward, progressing deeper into it. And then you get to this point where it hurts, right? And you want to back off because you want it to help, right? This is helping. It's helping you. I'm able to teach, right? It's helping me because I'm in it. I can feel it, but I'm not all the way fully into it because then I would lose the storyline. I would lose the ability to stay aware of you. My conscientiousness would lower. My consciousness would expand as I stretch in. And this is called darshan, when we're doing it together, right? You're receiving what I'm giving. I'm receiving what you're giving, but there's no exchange. It's just happening, right? It's just like the internet. It is connected, right? It's there. We connect to it, and it's always there. Same with ourselves, right? So as we stretch into it, we get to that place, and that place is called surrender. Right? Everything that is surrendered is grounded, right? So if you feel grounded right now, good, right? It doesn't have to feel good to be grounded, but usually things that are grounded are good, right? They feel safe, they feel secure, and everything that is grounded grows. And why does it grow? Because it's grounded, because it's safe to grow. Everything that grows gives. And why does it give? Because why is it growing? What's the purpose of growing if you're not going to give? And then, of course, everything that gives must surrender. Because if you're giving it, you're not taking it back. Right? If you give something, you don't give it back. Right? You send it out. You send it in. That's it. Feel, feel, feel. Final minute. You guys got this. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. Fantastic. Slowly coming up. Spend some time here. Just stay up. Again, side to side. Little tiny micro movements. Open your jaw, relax. Little tiny micro movements. Again, come to the side. Right? Keep that leg straight out in front. And then reach for it again. Stretch for that leg. Feel, feel, feel. Move it around. Forward and back, feel the connection. Fantastic, and one, good. Coming back, allow the foot to slide back over. Switch legs, other foot comes up, crosses over. Right. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, right? And then you start to make this connection with the knees. Right, this is here, forward, forward, forward. Again, just heart forward, super easy. Right, we can reach forward and grab. Nice and easy. Fantastic. When you're ready, go over the side of the foot, lean, bring that heel in, and then again, same thing. Get yourself nice and comfortable into your shoelace pose. And arms straight, that's how I like to get into it, and just start moving your hips left and right. Again, spend the first minute to get comfortable, right? In yourself. My work is to get you there before you get there. Because when this was taught to me, it was just go into the posture and stay in it. And of course, what happens is there's all this kind of ego that occurs. And so I find that the teachings help with the ego dissolution, right? This ability of, this is not a performance, this is a practice, right? It's very easy to perform, but this is a practice. So if I just throw you in, you may be performing even for yourself. Well, this way, you don't have to perform, right? You can feel the power, right? You can feel the piece by piece, slowly, slowly getting your way into the posture, right? Taking all the time you need, finding your way, and then going through your checklist. Okay, how are my hips? Are they relaxed? How is my heart? Is it relaxed? How is my head? Is it relaxed? And as we focus on hips, heart, head, we start to relax more. And as we relax more, we let go. As we let go, we learn to let be. Right? Relax, let go, let be. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Learning to stimulate that which relaxes us. Parasympathetic system. Tailbone, crown of the head. And let your tailbone go nice and long. Let your head relax. Right? Arms straight, arms bent. Doesn't matter. Right? You just get into a place where you can be grounded, because when you're grounded, then you can surrender. And if you can surrender, then you can grow. And if you grow, then you can give. It all goes round and round. It all moves breath by breath. And that's the beauty of the practice. Right? Breathing here, feeling here, receiving here. Breath by breath, all movement into this moment. There you guys go. You did fantastic again. Slowly coming up, stretch up, reach up, take your time. This is the real medicine part of it, right? Whoa. And some time. Again, you found some newness here. Newness is nowness, right? So you found some newness, getting into that strong sensation. Whoa. Feel, feel, feel. Good. When you're ready, roll over onto the side with the foot. Kick the underneath one, legs straight, stretch forward. Right. Feel. Should feel different than the forward fold, right? Just subtly different. Neither good nor bad, just different. Right? Different is good. Someone said to me today that if we didn't like different, there would be no grand markets of the world. There would be no need for anything more than one. One store, one pair of shoes, one pant. We'd have zero desire for more than this. And so why there's so much variety is because we have this desire for more, right? It's a beautiful thing to express, to witness that creativity of differences, and support them. Really, really nice. Good. Okay, coming back. Humans like variety, just something we do. So we're going to throw the legs behind us now. We're going to come into a cat-cow position. I'm going to demonstrate from the side. Let's just do a few rounds of cat-cow, so curl the spine. Right, and again, I like to always rock and roll my cat-cow. Sometimes I just rock it in cat. And then I rock it in cow. Right, to feel the different levels. Maybe if I'm preventing myself from going deeper, why and how. Earbuds. These things don't stay in the ear very well. All right, fantastic. Now from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a step forward. So I'm gonna replace my right hand with my right foot. So just like that. And once I do that, I'm gonna start to drop open my body. Nice and easy, not very big, just forward and back, nice and easy. Okay, nice and easy. Now, if there's any issue with your knee, you can always place a pillow. Actually, I'm just gonna do that for sure, or a bolster. Right, and all we're doing is coming forward. I'm coming forward. Hip is dropping down. And again, it was a very narrow stance, if you remember, right? We were in a tabletop. I just replaced my hand. And now I'm just coming up a little bit. I'm starting to drop my hip toward my heel. Right, coming up and toward the heel. And this is us working toward our low lunge. So when you're ready, coming forward, find a place, right? Find your foot. This is known as lizard, right? And all I'm doing now is extending the back leg and extending the front leg. And why? Because I'm pushing that hip down towards the floor. So hip comes up, hip comes down. Okay, move it around. And now all you're doing is it from here. This is level 1. We're gonna stop here today, right? This is where we're gonna work from. If you'd like to go deeper, that's great. Push hip to go deeper, okay? Push that hip to go deeper. And as you push that hip to go deeper, really relax this leg, this back leg, totally relax. Arms straight, relax your head, and just feel as you can push your hip towards the ground. Smallest of movements. This is the yin, right? Feel the connection to the foot, right? When you push down, can you feel it moving from your hip to your foot? And I don't mean diagonally, I mean from the ground. As you feel the ground, you're feeling the hips simultaneously. Both happening. Okay, too much, bring it back. Stretch it all the way back. Right, get a nice big stretch. Right, come in again. Right, try and hold for the duration of this posture. So we're in a straight arm lizard, or we're in a straight arm low lunge. And all you're doing is pushing hip down. You want to imagine that the hip is going to get to the floor someday. And make sure that foot, that right foot that's in front, is in a good space, that when you push the hip down, you're feeling that strength in the foot. It's almost like that foot is absorbing it. You can squeeze glute, release glute, right? Get that feeling, that impulse, strengthen the hip, to strengthen the hip. Feel the connection to your jaw, right to your head. And make sure you're not always pressing into your heels. Make sure you're on the knuckles too of the hands. Right, if that's too much fists. It's all about that hip going down. Just imagine going all the way to the floor. Good, fantastic, guys. Watch carefully. Push it back. No, push it back, relax. Slide the foot back. Tabletop. Tabletop. Again, child's pose. Push back. Move it around. Feel. Come forward, stretch. Remember, this is all those little tiny medicine movements. Right? This is where you get your permanent lasting change, where you create your new patterns. And your body didn't work this way before. It did, right? It did. It just has more ability to do this more often, right? Or it feels encouraged to do so. Good. Now from here, when you're ready, same thing, but other side. I'm going to replace the left hand, the left foot. Let's take a step. Nice and easy. Again, nothing too crazy. Okay. That pillow gets nicely supported with the knee. Remember why? Because the meniscal tissue, we talked about that the other week. And again, forward and back. Now you'll notice if my knee goes too far forward, right, I lose the weight through the foot, so that's not going to be good. So what I want to do is just slowly walk my foot a little bit forward. There it is, right? So it's the knee's not super forward. And that way, when my hip drops, my knee and ankle pretty much in alignment. Just let it drop. So we're watching this hip now. It's all about this hip. So it's all about this curl. See how it's resisting the curl? That's okay. We're going to keep working it. That was better. And straightening it, curling it. And again, where is it curling toward? Right, the floor or the heel. However you want to understand it. It's coming down. There it goes. There it goes. Yes. And you can feel it when it starts to release. But again, I would change my foot a little bit. So let's get our timer on and let's start to sink in. Right, stretch that back leg. Again, if it goes too far, right, move your pillow. Stretch that back leg. And then again, that front leg gets in a comfortable position. So when you do this little tiny hip hop, as we're pushing it, right, tailbone back, tailbone forward. Tailbone back, tailbone forward. As your tailbone comes forward, you're really pushing it towards the ground. And that's what creates all that strong sensation. I don't think my earphones have ever fallen out of my ears so many times like today. Fascinating. And my ears have gotten bigger from being such a great listener. They're getting stronger, more open. Right? Listening to the body, listening to ourselves, listening to each other. Right? Through the practice. Hip, see? Tilt tailbone down. I can feel it all through my back, right? Because it's connected to my spine. There's something about releasing this hip that doesn't feel super good back here. That's why this is an asana. There's something about it that feels really good, right? And I can feel the weight of this hip as it drops down. I can feel it through the foot. And that's why you want to have good foot position, because you want to feel it pressing down perfectly through the foot, so the energy is dissipating through. Not too far forward, not too far back. Right? Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. And remember, don't get your wrists sore, right? Come on your fists. Spend some time on your fists. Right? Spend some time on the tops of your hands. Right? Remember, don't get caught up in one grip. Hip. Hip. Little tiny movements. Hip to push. Right? Push that hip down. There's something about it. It's such a beautiful movement, this low lunge. As we talked about last week, preparing for our split. We always like to work on split every once in a while in Yin. It always rotates around in our sequencing. And last week we did some moves for it. This week we're also doing moves for it. Right? Maybe next week we'll finally get to it. Right? And again, you're still seeing me push down, curl down. Right? There's this little tiny space. If I just can work it a little bit more with the breath. And sending it down through the heel. Sending it into the rib cage. Beautiful, guys. One last time. Come up. Come up, remember, right into your tabletop. And not just tabletop. Puppy dog, child's pose, right? Whatever feels good. Just start to move it around. Feel. It should feel very different than when we started. All right, so from here, what we're gonna do now is open up our knees. So some people like to thicken it up a bit. I just take a whole blanket to do this. It's way easier than a bolster or anything. It's just a quick and easy way to make sure your knees are safe. But just take a big blanket and just open it up. And then it just gives you a little extra cushion to open up your legs. You see how I opened up my legs and then I curled my tailbone, right? So again, those two low lunges are really gonna help for this. Okay, we're opening up. And as we open up, this is called frog. Oof, crick, crack, crick, crack. And again, what really special about frog is the toes aren't pointed back, they're open. So that's why you slide open and then you start to work your feet sideways. And that's why I said curl your tailbone immediately. Because once you have the tailbone curled, this is the movement, right? Forward and back, nice and slow. At first, you won't be able to go as far back. Some people can go all the way to the ground. It takes time. Push forward. Right? We're just working it through. We're just getting comfortable. Right? Where are you going to be when you hold it? Again, when I started doing Yin, I was just told to do these things, right? Was not in the right position. 5 minutes of being in the wrong position was actually more detrimental than good. And when I say wrong position, it just wasn't the one that I wanted to be in. Right? Again, I was performing. I was trying to get to a place that I wasn't. It wasn't really yoga in that sense. Right? That was because of me. And that's why I teach it the way I do, right? Get comfortable as you can. At least you can give one breath throughout this whole posture authentically to the Yin. Full surrender, full let go. Because you're comfortable enough to let go. And that's the key. Can't be relaxed unless we're comfortable. Good, again, once we get into this better position, right, curl your tailbone and then come down on your forearms to give our wrists a break. And see the curl? And then you push back and forward. And there it is. That's it. Now we're in it. 3 minutes. We got this. Okay, notice I'm not collapsing, right? Pulling and pushing back. And as I do that, I can open up a little bit more. Right, again, it's your posture, right? It's all about the curl though. Because if you feel it, curl, release it. Curl, release it. Curl, release it. Stretch it back, stretch your tailbone, stretch your spine, open your hips. This is how you train for full splits, right? Slowly working it through. Don't collapse too much through the back, right? Keep that energy. And again, micro movements go a long way. Little tiny movements, forward and back. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. Shifting that gravity really shifts the weight. And then tilting tailbone. Again, sensations start to really come to the surface from the deep, deep, deep sort of center of the pelvis, the hips. Right, and that's why I want to curl our back when we did all that cat-cow. Because again, right, getting the energy from the hips up towards the heart, right? Lengthening it, strengthening it, bring that permanent lasting change, really opening up those hips, right? Frog pose. And we don't like frog pose, but that doesn't mean it's not good for us, especially doing it this way with lots of movement, right? Lots of permanent lasting change, right? Curl, feel, and then surrender. Find that place where you can just relax. Beautiful, guys. Don't rush out of here. Just hang in there, okay? It's all about coming forward and just kicking your legs back, okay? So unfortunately, I'm a little tight here, but you'll get the idea. This is the safest way. And just lie down on the ground. Open up those legs. Relax those hips now. And just let everything relax. This also can help prevent cramping, right? Because when you really stretch like that, and then what I like to do is push down. And push down through the thighs. Again, you can windshield wiper knees side to side. But again, just to get that energy flowing now up and down in the opposite direction without all those hip stuff. But push that energy. Push it through. Right. Good, right? Push down, lift your knees, right? Lift your hips. Push down, lift your knees. Good. Right? Just move it around. All right. Our next movement is going to be an inversion. It's going to be a very nice movement. If you have a bolster, you can totally use it here. If you don't, I'm going to show you how to use it without first. If you do, just wait. I'll show you how to do it with. So it'll be our last posture before our Shavasana. All right. So lying down on our backs, all we have to do here is take our legs up in the air, and then we use our elbows and we kick our legs back. Right? If that's too hard, right, all you do is just grab hold of your kind of thighs and then lift through your tailbone. Lift through your tailbone. Right? And again, all we're trying to do is get back here. So again, you can use your arms. Again, you just lift your tailbone, kick your legs up. And then once here, you just hang out here. Right? I have my little thing here. I don't need this. Right? This is called snail. You can hold on underneath. You're just balancing yourself on your shoulders. I like to grab my feet. And I like you to go a little back further. Right? You don't have to straighten the legs. This doesn't have to be halasana. Right? Just stay in a nice tuck position. And just keep yourself just very safe. You just cross your arms and keep yourself in that inversion. Keep your legs back. Just give yourself a hug. Relax your head. And snail, you can come up a little higher, right? If you want to get more for a shoulder stand. Again, super easy posture. And again, you can do it just by holding as well. All right, fantastic. For those who are doing the bolster version, nice and easy. Soles of the feet to the floor, bolster underneath you, and now that just creates the prop for you. So it's a lot easier. Okay, so now you don't have to feel the balance so much in your shoulders. Again, all the same things here. And then you can even come off of it. It's there, but it's not there. So I'm just going to do that. It's there, but it's not there. I'm just going to stay in the more classical version. Forehead to knee, and feeling it through my body. Snail, relax, surrender. Inversions are really good for increasing circulation. Heart has to work twice as hard. That's a good thing. So remember, the heart is cardio, right? Cardiovascular, right? Heart movement. It's circulation. We increase our circulation through movement, but we also do it through respiration. Right? Breathing all the way in, all the way out. Right? And let your tailbone relax, back relaxes, and everything relaxes. Again, just allowing that circulation to increase. Increase circulation through movement, but also respiration. And inversion, right, is really increasing through movement, but also by breathing deeply. Right, we're getting 3, 4, 5 times the cardiovascular. Right? We're oxygenating our bodies with prana. Beautiful. Slowly coming out, straighten the leg, and best part, one vertebrae at a spine. One vertebrae at a time. One vertebrae at a spine, that's good. Good, so slowly, one vertebrae at a time, slowly lower down. Oh, I forgot. I'll get rid of that. Yeah. It's actually fun just to be here. Good, now slowly, slowly. You take all the time you need. I like to go right into happy baby or knees into chest, that's up to you. Oh, yeah, for me, happy baby's the best out of inversion. Flatten it all down to the ground. And again, as you notice, I go from happy baby to stirrup, flattening my back, or flattening my back, soles of the feet to the floor. I flatten my back now all the way. Tailbone tilt. Good, open up the hands. Good, everything relaxes. Stay here, breathe here, feel here. Or if you wish, full Shavasana. Open up the legs and fully stretch out. Deep breath in. Squeeze glutes, release glutes, squeeze glutes, release glutes, squeeze glutes, release glutes, squeeze glutes, and relax down. Right, let it all go. Relax everything. Right? No restrictions, not even in your clothing. Right? Just let everything flow. Right? Whatever isn't flowing, make it. Right? Move it. Right? Movement is another synonym for flow. When we're in movement states, we're in flow states. It's not a service, It's not a product, right? It's a movement. And a movement carries a message. Right now in Shavasana, the message is to be, right? All that you are. You just went through a beautiful practice. And now it's to become, right? What you are. Right? To be reminded what you are, or be reminded what you must not forget. All of these good things. Staying inside, just feeling that breath. And as your energy relaxes, our temperature starts to drop. It starts to become a little bit more spacious within, more quiet or silent, a little bit more stillness, gentleness. I always thought of yoga as a gentle journey, even though there's moments that can be very vigorous, very difficult. It's a very gentle journey because it's a daily practice. As you gently journey into yourself, breath by breath, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, just sigh out with the sound of ah. Ah. Good. Two more. Inhale. Fill up. And exhale, let it go. Ah. Last one. Deepest breath in. And exhale, let it go. Relax your head side to side. Wiggle your fingers like stars. Bring one sole of the foot down inside. Make sure to wipe your knees side to side. Oh. Nice big twist. Nice big practice today. And when you're ready, whichever size you choose, left or right, let's come up to a comfortable seated position. And as we sit, right, find that comfortable seat. Again, heels underneath the knees, or if you have the flexibility, bring the heels toward more your tailbone. Wherever you are, make sure you're grounded, right? Make sure we're grounded. And I was speaking to someone the other day, if there's any issues, right, you can always sit in cobbler. We've discussed that many classes ago. You know, this is one of the meditation positions, right? So just remembering, if there's any obstacle in your way, yoga always has a modification. Because again, yoga is a life. It's not even a lifestyle. It's a practice, right? Good, heart forward, heart back. Just move your body around. Remember, all those postures we're doing is supposed to master this one, right? They're all little elements of this posture, this sitting posture. You wouldn't believe how difficult it is to sit pain-free comfortably. And I only know that because it's not even in myself, it's in the world, right? The people we work with, the people we are in class with. This position of sitting and sitting peacefully is so difficult. It was difficult for me, right? It's difficult for others. And until we're able to sit pain-free, we never really get to that pleasure of being, right? It's very difficult to feel pleasure when we're feeling pain. right? It's not authentic. So getting to a place of pleasure may be just a lapse or a moment away from pain, right? Because our attention is on something else now. And in this case, the practice. Good. And let's create some energy in our palms, right? As we move around and feel, getting a little bit more vigorous with the movement. Right? Waking from our awakenedness. Draw those hands up over the head. Heart forward. Down over your heart. Heart back. Heart forward. Heart back. Wherever there's discomfort, wherever there's discomfort, disharmony, just let that dissonance go. Really work it out. Right? Bring comfort. Bring ease. Bring flow. And just let it go. Just remember the cleanest moving water is the fastest moving water. Right? Any water that's still is going to have growth, which is not a problem. When we're still, we grow. Right? So feel that growth. Feel that gift. Feel the gift of that growth. And we're going to chant one mantra as we slowly bring the palms together into a place of peace. Deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. In your hearts, in your lives, in everything that you see, are, and be. The divine in me sees and shares the divine in you. In love, with love, through love. Thank you everyone for coming out today. Namaste. Yay, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone.